Well guys, I never thought I'd be saying this. I think my wife did, but nonetheless, I've bought another car. This time it's a little bit different to all my other vehicles, which is kind of why I bought it. You can probably already tell by behind me, but I've bought a super long wheelbase Hiace, which I'm in the middle of doing some mods to. So I'm not going to go crazy in depth for what I'm doing. I'll give you a brief rundown. So this is going to take over the work duties from Toby, the custom turbo Commodore Ute, which will be a shame, but it means that I can then dedicate that car to just going all out. But anyway, back to this. This is a 07 Hiace super long wheelbase with a 3 litre 1KD. Pretty good engine if you look after them. So what I'm just wrapping up now is I've just done a full custom front mount intercooler setup. So it does actually have a front mount, but look at the size of it. So that is the factory front mount in there, which sits under this grille. So I'm sure it's okay for stock duties, but I've had this one lying around for quite a while. There's not much space here because this thing's so freaking big. So I've had this one lying in my room for ages. So I've just made up some brackets, welded them on to the sides there, and then this M8 riv nut into the Rio here. So this is a 200 by 600 by 100 by the looks of it. So that should be very good on the cooling side of things. Then over in here where the engine is, and yes, it is a bit weird working like this, but I kind of like it. It's these things are really well laid out. So I've done, well actually the reason why I got this is the previous owner thought it had a blown turbo, but it was actually the plastic hot side pipe here had cracked off completely. So in classic custom car blister built garage fashion, I've fabbed a whole new alloy intake system to the front mount. So yeah, no more of those issues. I've still got to put an EGT probe into the exhaust manifold there. Cold side pipe's done as well, as you saw. I'll chuck the car up on the hoist and show you guys underneath a bit later. So yeah, the next thing to do, I'm going to do a exhaust system, so 3-inch with a cutout of course. So this will probably be one of the coolest turbo diesel vans going around, I'd say. And it hasn't really cost me that much. Most of this intercooler piping I've had left over from other jobs. Intercooler was free. Had to buy a couple of mufflers and stuff, and the cutout obviously. So I've probably spent, Buzz has done maybe $1,000 on like all top line gear, and obviously my time. So this thing will be pretty sick. So it's going to hit the dyno next Sunday, so I'll get the exhaust done, EGT probe in, and then we're pretty much good to go. Ben's got the software to tune this. So this is a VNT turbo, so a basically variable size. It changes the AR frame size of the turbo with some little fins inside essentially. So it'd be very interesting to see how this thing goes. I'm kind of expecting 120 kilowatts full noise, so we'll see. We've got the cooling to cool that charge air. It's a pretty modern and efficient turbo, so we should be able to pump a bit of boost, maybe 25 pound or so. And yeah, wind the fuel in and see how it goes. So I'm going to go and rip this exhaust off and get cracking, and yeah, I guess next you'll see it. We'll probably be done, and then we'll head to the dyno. You know, all these engine bay mods are awesome, but the thing I'm most excited about is check out how much fucking room is in this thing. Look at it. Massive. So this is what I'm most keen to do, a massive interior fit out. So this thing's going to be the ultimate work vehicle. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a builder. Get to the point in life where you got that many freaking tools. So I can pretty much have everything in here. So that's the plan. So yeah, I'll just be doing the, you know, the essential things to make these engines not blow up, obviously. That includes, I'll be blanking the EGR off, so you get a blanking plate, and also because Ben can get into the ECU and reflash it, we can actually turn the EGR off completely. inside the computer. So we'll do both on that. So the EGR will stop recirculating exhaust gas essentially into the intake, which usually carbons up once that kind of meets the blow-by oil. From the crankcase venting back into the turbo inlet, that then pushes oil all the way through the intake tract and into the engine and intake manifold. So then when the EGR is introduced, it kind of tends to carbon up. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen on, you know, especially on a lot of the Hilux and kind of Prado forums and stuff, of basically carboned up pipework that's, you know, gone to like that big in diameter from, you know, 2.5 inch. So I'll be getting rid of that. I've also got a ProVent catch can to put on. So that will stop the blow-by gases going back into the intake, so it'll keep all my intake piping basically clean, and it will also not put oil on the internals of the intercooler, which makes it less efficient. Obviously the intercooler, that's a big thing for turbo diesels. The colder you can get that air, the better. And then basically we'll chuck it on the dyno, wind the fuel up, wind the boost up to cool that fuel, because diesel is kind of opposite to petrol. And that's it, just a bit of a tickle up, and should be good enough for loaded fully up in the back and plenty of pulling power. So yeah, this is basically all that's happening to this car, apart from maybe, you know, some wheels or, you know, the rear setup. So I don't know if this will get any interest. I don't think I've really seen much of people doing this in the van community, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. Alright, so we're at the dyno again, and we are going to put the van on. So far we've done Pete's L67 VY, which made 280, which you can see right here. Then we had Elliot's 76 series, which is basically bone stock. That made 108 kilowatt. And now we got Brett here with the 80, which is still in stock form. So it's changed a bit since all the viewers saw this last, Brett.
Yeah, a few new little bolt-on goodies.
A few? That's a bit of an understatement, I reckon. So what was the Google result for the stock horsepower?
100 and... Yeah. 100 and something to 200 or something along those lines.
Something.
Nerve-wracking.
You a bit worried?
Oh, a little bit. I haven't revved it much past like 2.5.
Oh my god.
So we'll see what happens.
Boring Brett.
There we go.
Have you got your Okay, well let's see.
So if I make half that, I'll be happy.
So you got the fuel screw tool there, Ben?
What's that in horsepower?
Plenty of room, mate.
Not bad. What, can you put a boost gauge on it?
It didn't blow up.
No.
Nothing to worry about.
It's scary. I think that's the hardest it's been revved in about 10 years.
You want an aircon run?
Yeah, do it. They're gonna make a difference?
Oh, it'd have to, wouldn't it? Parasitic.
Ben doesn't reckon it does on his.
Oh, I get it's a pretty big engine, isn't it?
Yeah. You can see got a little boost gauge mounted in there. That one was left over from the Surf, I think. and I've got a cool little EGT gauge in here. So you can see there. It's actually a really good little unit, fits nicely in there. So alright, so I've already given you guys a brief rundown on the setup quickly. So obviously full intake system, bigger intercooler, custom piping, full exhaust system 3-inch, no cat, one muffler, one resonator, and also a cutout. I've got the EGT, which I just showed you. I've got a boost gauge. I met up with Ben probably 3 or 4 days ago, and we took it for a drive just to test out the software. We were a bit confused, well, Ben was anyway. I had no idea what was going on. And basically some of the tables were then not mapped. Is that right, Ben? They would map differently to what they were meant to be?
That way, define properly.
Yeah. Alright fellas, so what's the estimate base power?
You only do one rod.
No, power. I've only got 4 rods, so...
I don't know. It's not been worked on. It's not been tuned yet, has it?
No, it's just got the exhaust intercooler.
110 horsepower?
Oh, that's horsepower.
Horsepower. Maybe like...
Okay, yeah, I think that's probably about right. Pete?
No.
Fucking hell,
68 kilowatts?
Okay.
I don't know.
Hope it gets more than that. Brett?
Fucking no clue.
Okay, we'll have to write off.
I'd call it 115 horses.
115 horse.
Oh,
Okay.
she just chopped me on the high side. What a dog.
Alright, Benny, call it. How much is it going to make? Stock.
80 kilowatts.
Yep, that's more like it.
It's about 110 horse.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
think it's about right.
That's what the 1HD made. I just went 2 horses above that.
Is this your favourite vehicle for tuning
For ease
comfort?
of access, absolutely.
Look at this.
There's the whole table, heaps of room.
Let's put that table to good use, alright?
This is the first time I've driven the van.
You're so far away, Ben. I can barely see you.
So who wants to put their guesses in?
I'll do it.
You know what I mean? Who wants to put the guesses in?
110 horse.
75 kilowatt.
Ready?
So far away the keyboard doesn't work anymore.
Damn van problems.
Ready for the reveal? 100.66.
Kilowatts, please.
75.
That's exactly what I said.
Slug. What a slug.
Not anymore. It'll come in.
Yeah, $3 grand and off she goes.
Yeah. She's tuned safe, that's for sure.
What was that? So what is it, Friday? What it was? Oh, no, Friday was like 350, wasn't it?
Yeah, 300, so it's probably 350. So there's more to be had.
Let's have it.
Let's do a couple of runs and see if
Yeah, your mixtures are pretty lame.
They're very lame.
I think first thing, let's see if we can get some boost up.
Fill in this bit. Get back to work.
It's not an ad for Esky, but so we're just working on jacking up the boost to 18 pounds. So I think we've got it. So let's give it a go.
So how does this work? Is the fueling proportionate to the boost, or can you change the fueling, or is fueling proportionate to airflow and throttle position or pedal position?
Pedal position eventually relates to how much fuel you inject, and then based on that there's a requested load, and then that translates through to air mass or turbo boost.
So I reckon with our intake temps, I'd be quite happy to go to 22 pound of boost.
Yeah, I set it for 18, so we'll see what we do.
Yeah.
These blokes. Conference meeting.
Just looking over Ben's shoulder, making sure he's doing the right stuff.
Speaking about backseat driving, I guess the annoying thing with this is it takes so long to friggin' flash. You waste so much time.
Yeah, and I can't even remember how to flash it, so.
Alright, we'll cut that out.
Why does it take so long?
Oh, you just have to go through this whole fucking procedure where you gotta, so there's no live tuning, you gotta basically
Make a tune.
yeah, do a log, make changes that you think are gonna
Like
work.
the Subi.
Yeah, basically. And then, you know, it's this whole sequence of like key on, key off.
Yeah, put it on, do a run,
Yeah,
log
wait
it,
for it to
look
flow.
at it again.
Yeah. So, since we last went out, the tables have changed, because obviously some things weren't right. So hopefully we can actually improve it.
Yeah.
But from what we can see here, it's majorly restricted. So, this is going to be interesting. Alright, run number 2 after some changes. You're kidding.
I'll try a couple of key cycles and see if we can get it to boot.
Any engine lights?
No, I've cleared that BNT controller code. I think it's something to do with the way that...
Have you closed the EGR?
Yes, I have. I wonder if the EGR lead.
So we were having this thing the other night. Basically, as soon as we tried to alter some maps, it basically lost boost even more than what it was factory, so a bit strange. So can you just recap on what you were telling me before, Benny?
So, where were we?
What am I doing?
After we made all the changes, the fueling wasn't going up, so it's mainly a function of the fuel that goes in to get to drive it harder, and then you get more boost as well. So something we changed is causing it to hold back on the fueling. So we're rolling back the changes one by one. We changed about 4 tables to try to get the boost up. So we're just going to go back and go one by one.
And that can be very slow because it's not live.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the power is nowhere near as good as it was on the first run. Nothing seems to be working, but Ben has essentially just jacked the fuel table, so hopefully with the booster we've got, we can at least tap it up a little bit. Like, the mixtures are pretty lean still, but yeah, it's not looking too promising. Woo! Fuel her up, mate.
Fueled up.
So, boost is a function of the fuel partly, you reckon?
There's still something wrong with it.
Yeah.
We had more fuel that time.
Have you done it all across the board or just up top? Or?
Just up top. I'll run a couple more runs, see what happens.
Yeah. buddy.
Bruce must be starting to come back.
No soot. Still pretty lean. I want to see it down near like 17 or something. Cold and cold. It's still not making as much power as the surf though, so I have to do something about that.
Well, I think that's the end of that chapter.
88? 88.
Yeah. Until next time.
We've got a lot left in it. EGTs, we're getting up to like maybe mid 5s, which is pretty fucking good. Intake temps, what was it? Intake temps, did you say?
About 35.
35. That's really, really impressive.
Okay, Ben.
And yeah, wrap it up.